Hey guys, it's your boy Mark back with another video. I'm here to give you guys a review of Smackdown. Smackdown, what the heck is the date? 5th of September 2025. This show just got off the air, and this probably is the final episode of Smackdown that I ever review, because this was John Cena's final appearance on Smackdown. How about that? Yeah, and crazy enough, I don't know, I thought it was the same arena, but I noticed that they worded it specifically tonight that this is the same city that John Cena debuted in. You know, his match against Kurt Angle, 2002. But like they didn't say same arena. I don't know. I thought it was the same arena, but it's the same thing. And this show started off extremely promising. It really did. But then it just turned into bullshit. And it really killed my mood after the first hour. And the good news is that the first hour of the show, because this is a 2-hour show, was pretty much all John Cena. That's awesome. But I don't want to get all like cryptic about it. I'll review the match, of course, but I'll just say really quickly that John Cena came out, said, basically, I'm just struggling to remember because far out everything that happened afterwards, like, just freaking took over my mind so easily. But John Cena basically said, thank you to Chicago, you know, for everything. Final appearance on SmackDown as a performer ever. And then Sami Zayn, who won the United States Championship last week on SmackDown, comes out and basically he says, hey, John Cena, you had a U.S. title open challenge match with me 10 years ago, and now I want to start the Sami Zayn U.S. title open challenge starting tonight with you as my opponent. This match actually kicked ass. I'm not even joking. Sami kicked out an AA. John kicked out of a haluva kick. And a lot of intense stuff. Sami Zayn actually did the attitude adjustment to John Cena during the commercial break, which was not replayed for American viewers. It was still in the commercial break. That was actually a pretty cool spot that Americans aren't going to know about. Yeah, but I swear to God that happened. John Cena did a second attitude adjustment. Sami kicked out. Quite a lengthy match too, actually. And then looked like John Cena had a won, and he had that shit won. He did the avalanche attitude adjustment to Sami Zayn, and the cool thing about it was that Sami like was struggling to get out of it, and I thought he was gonna get out of it, and then John too tired to go for the pin. As soon as he hits the avalanche attitude adjustment, that's when I knew some bullshit's gonna happen. Because you know when they do a finisher and they don't immediately go for the cover, you know some bullshit is gonna happen. And that bullshit was Brock Lesnar coming out, ending the match himself. He takes out the referee. He F5 Sami, which for a second had me thinking he was trying to let Cena win. Then he decides to F5 Cena twice. And the match ends in a no contest. So that killed my mood. That killed my mood for the rest of the show. Just telling you guys straight up. And yeah, and I said to friends, man, Hunter, Triple H really loves choking on Brock Lesnar's cock, doesn't he? Like fucking hell. And Sami Zayn actually got booed tonight. He got booed when he came out to interrupt Cena. He was booed throughout the whole match. That's awesome. And I know a certain bald cunt piece of shit who says that Chicago's the best crowd ever. You still think that? You piece of shit. But yeah. And stand by your words. Fucking asshole. So yeah, that killed my mood. That whole ending to that match. It was a great kick-ass match though. It really was, man. It was actually until the ending, it was actually quite better than their match on Raw a decade ago. That was great stuff. The good news is it was a no contest. So Sami Zayn will never ever be able to say that he beat John Cena one-on-one. But John Cena can say he beat Sami Zayn one-on-one a decade ago, You really could have had U.S. title reign number 6. He could have just vacated it tonight. You know what you guys should have done? And by you guys, I mean WWE. You should have had Cena go for the pin after that third Avalanche AA. 1, 2, 3. Then Brock comes out. F5's John. You can say John is injured, so he has to vacate the title tonight. That's what you should have done. And then, but he'll still be healthy enough for WrestlePalooza when that show's on in like 2 weeks. And so you could have easily done that. But no, you did some bullshit, But one positive thing, sort of, I'll say, I didn't really expect John Cena to challenge for the United States Championship during this retirement tour. So, if they did a U.S. Championship match, then WWE has to know that we want John Cena to win the Intercontinental Championship. They have to know that. And I gotta tell you guys the truth. I don't know if I ever mentioned this once. If you saw how I reacted to the end of Royal Rumble 2025, because I did upload my entire reaction to the pay-per-view. If you skip right to the end, my reaction to how the men's Royal Rumble match ended. I know it's a 4.5 hour long video, but I got my good friend Antlocks. He did post timestamps for some highlights, including the ending. You saw how freaking devastated I was at the ending when still the wrong ending to this day. Okay, 7 months later, that was bullshit. But what I'm saying is, and I don't think I've ever said this. Ever since I'd say No Mercy 2016, I did not review that pay-per-view because I was so upset that John Cena didn't win the WWE Championship. It was that triple threat match between him, Dean, and AJ Styles. I was so upset, and it was the opening match because there was a Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton debate thing going on at the same time, so they wanted that to go on first, even though it was really should have been the main event, and it was, which is weird because it opened the show even though they called it the main event. This is weird. What I'm saying is I did watch that match. I did watch it live, and I was so angry and upset that John didn't win that I didn't watch the rest of the show and reviewed it. Man, that pissed me off. So I was so upset, man. And ever since that match, every single time that John Cena is challenging for a championship, I can't help it. I can't help it at all. My nerves, whenever John Cena's in a championship match as the challenger, especially, my nerves skyrocket like nothing. And I can't help it. They skyrocket. I'm terrified the whole time. My freaking adrenaline is all over the place inside my body. And I feel like I'm understating it. And it doesn't help. It doesn't freaking help when, and it's most of the freaking time too, that John doesn't get the win. It doesn't help. All right. So I was so angry. My nerves were through the freaking outer space atmosphere into the freaking supernova. Like, every time he challenges for a championship. If John Cena does challenge for the Intercontinental Championship in the 7 dates left on his retirement tour, I just know, and I can't help it, I just know I'm going to feel the exact same way. I was nervous out of my mind during this match. I was nervous at WrestleMania 41. Though not as nervous because there was a lot of shenanigans, like Cody not being able to pin after a crossroads, that had me feeling a lot more calm that John would actually win, and he did win, and that was the main thing I wanted. Number 17, the most world titles ever. I actually did start filming well, when I thought John was going to win the US title tonight. I did start filming. But then when I heard, as soon as Brock's music hit, I stopped recording. I still have the footage, but as soon as this video's up, that footage will probably gone completely. Won't exist anymore. Gone, not just from my phone, my other phone that I filmed it on, but gone from recently deleted. And I was only ever going to upload that if John had won. There was some good notes, and there was some cool callback finisher things like in this match too. Like it was really cool when John Cena did the spear, and he did it the way that Edge does, including the mannerisms, which was so cool to see. Actually, he did the angle slam, which is weird because I thought he was going for an AA, and I was like, oh, angle slam, yeah. He even did the pop-up powerbomb, so that was cool. But yeah, that killed my mood. But the next match, so that was the main thing I was talking about. I'm pretty much just gonna skip through the rest of this thing because that's, Oh, and yeah, Brock Lesnar versus John Cena confirmed for WrestlePalooza. If they have John lose that, they really love choking on Brock's cock for some reason, man. Damn. And it's like I saw someone on Twitter X say, what is Brock Lesnar's beef with John Cena, like, kayfabe-wise? And I replied, I haven't seen anyone like my tweet yet, but I was being kind of a smartass, even though what I said is true. My guess is that Brock is butthurt that John Cena is a bigger and better star than he ever was. That's my explanation, Alright, so yeah. After this, we got Aleister Black versus Damian Priest. Damian actually did the Razor's Edge onto the announce table, but it didn't break to Aleister Black. Aleister Black did a pretty cool, Black Mass, the swinging kick thing he does to the head. He did that to Damian, collapsed, 2 2 exhaustion, 1 2 3. Yeah. Julia defends the United States Championship, the Women's United States Championship, obviously, against Mishin. I didn't really pay attention, but Julia retained. The ending is what most people probably talk about of the show. I don't know if I'm forgetting anything else from the show. Alexa Bliss came in as a fake doctor trying to check on Charlotte Flair. That was kind of funny, I guess, but my mood was already dead. Yeah, but yeah. What the hell was I saying? Come on, think. Maladon and Miz trying to force a championship match out of Nick Aldis. Whatever. And the show, or was it Adam Pearce? I keep forgetting which one is on which freaking brand. Anyway, the main event, Becky Lynch and Seth Rollins calling out CM Punk. This is what I meant by, this is what everyone will probably be talking about from the show. And Becky tries to provoke CM Punk slaps him a bunch of times in the face. I didn't watch Raw. I heard it was a great promo, though. I don't know exactly what happened. But Becky slapped CM Punk heaps of times, taunting him. CM Punk was like, you don't think I can call in Rhea Ripley? You don't think I can call in one of my sisters from the front row to come kick your ass? And then I have the perfect person to kick your ass for me. And then it happened. AJ Lee is back. And cool. Welcome back, AJ Lee, after a decade gone. I'm not like overly excited about it. Not because I don't love AJ Lee. I do, sort of. But I've seen so many like returns happen now. Edge has returned. CM Punk himself has returned. Edge has returned. I think I already said Edge. Nigel McGuinness has returned. That like any return that kind of happens now is not that shocking to me at this point. You know what I mean? Even if like unless like they came back from the dead, you know, like if Eddie Guerrero suddenly came back from the dead, that would be shocking, obviously. But yeah, but cool. Welcome back, AJ Lee. But yeah, that's gonna be my final review of SmackDown with John Cena as a performer. Probably my final review of SmackDown, period. And yeah, thank you guys for watching. Peace out.